anything like that on tape. It'll come out.
You just did.
My stomach turned
Lord!
It's there forever and ever and ever.
There's Shelley Turner. She's still mad at me, CB. Get a shot of her.
When you get
Okay.
that's a continuous man. That's not a.
She's always mad at me there.
Larry's Lounge. It's a hell of a place. You should go there sometime. We're talking about traveling on the highways, going north. You know, way up there north there where the moose and the buffalo roam.
The black flies.
And the black fly. The black fly, they bite you on the arm and you go whack and they come back again. I don't know why.
That's how they work.
I like this guy. He brings his own beer.
Yeah, well.
You knew the rules, right? No thanks, I got one. You knew the rules. You had to bring your own beer.
That's right.
Gander at
I'm
her.
kind of tough there. Good guy, you all get
You been back up Thunder Bay lately, Larry?
You guys are going to be Friday, you know.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Borrow the Dave.
I brought my pickup.
The pictures don't show that. Hi, Pam. How you doing?
Too hot. We just got our central air put in Thursday. I don't like it when I have to come out in the hot weather.
Give us your address.
Don't, Larry.
There's nothing in it.
Shelley? Larry wants to take a picture. She just got that glamorous pose. The pinup pose. All right, Larry, go back to the glamorous lady. Really.
How cute she is, and every time I talk to Larry, every time I talk to Scott and say, Hendricksons are going to Minnesota, he wants to know if Missy comes. I can't talk with the camera on me.
I know. How big are you or something?
No, it says,
What do you look like?
hello, blah, blah, blah. This is the Hendricksons. And if you just leave a perfect description of yourself, I'll call you later. And if you hang up, it really ticks me off, so don't.
Is that what she's got?
I got the same thing. What's that? I'll hear you. I heard at graduation ceremonies.
Stick your head in there and go back.
I saw that. Now I got all the not unless you really mean it. I don't want to.
Wild again. Based on our scholarship.
What has to happen as far as kids that are in Michigan area here is they have to go through, before we can put them on our 50 player list, like we could guarantee if he wanted to come to Saskatoon and play in the Western League, he wouldn't have to go through the draft. He could come and play for Saskatoon. So if we recruited him, I mean, we'd sign you an education contract and the whole deal, and you could guarantee him he'd play in Saskatoon, whereas if he wants to play in the Ontario League, Quebec League, he has to play wherever he gets drafted. We don't have a draft. Yeah, and he has to go through.
Over there and present them with their gifts, and then Large can get it on film, okay?
Is that on?
You're the boss.
Beautiful.
You tell me what gift I think it was.
Wow.
You gotta present it.
Now where's Corbs? Corbs, we ready? We had the car. We had the car showing.
Yeah, the car showing.
Beautiful. That went up and down the street. Okay, we're ready to go.
Check for the black guy. Where is he?
Danny Evans?
Go on.
Is he okay?
Dan Evans? Is Dan Evans here?
Hey, folks. Like to welcome everyone to the annual Nightingale Nicole Golf Classic. I use classic loosely.
What's that classic of the last couple of years? It was open.
Well, it's become a classic now.
Classically open.
Exactly. If we could have everybody's attention, before we go any further, I guess it's only appropriate to thank John Marie and Stephanie for having everybody over today. What do you say, folks? We'll teach them to buy a nice house.
And you're welcome to come back next year.
We were waiting to hear that. Thank you. No, that wasn't set up, folks. That was spontaneous.
What day?
We may be back next week, but anyway, folks, as always, we like to have the presentation, and I guess the best place to start is with the most honest twosome, the gruesome twosome as we refer to them. And part of the gruesome twosome, the one member is defending the most honest golfer status. And unfortunately, he got... Well, it'll come out in the wash. Unfortunately, he got hooked up with his partner and dragged him downhill. And I'd like Peter Horacek and Greg Turner to come up and accept the Most Honest Golfer Award.
We won. I told you we were going to win.
All right.
I think I'm the most honest golfer.
And I tell you what, these guys get really nice prizes. They get each a sleeve of Titleist golf balls. Now you've got to go over there so John Marie can make the presentation and Marge can get it on film, okay?
CD!
I won Titleist golf balls. Titleist.
Shelly, that should do it the rest of the summer, huh?
There you go.
We're number one.
No. You're number 16 in this tournament, pardon me. How about a nice hand for our most honest golfers this year? Just a terrible job. Terrible round. We'd like to recognize last year's champions. The defending champions came into today's round. Each of them had a bit of a story in their own right. The one that carried the team had a baby. The one that was dragged along had a heart attack. Both of them are here today to play golf, and I think that's a miracle in itself. Norm Vanberger and Ann Bates both participated today, and I think they both deserve a round of applause. And we've got nice prizes for both of them. Dee, if you'd like to go in front of the camera and make the presentation, thank you.
They can't win. Hey, Valley. Three of them.
Yeah, have to get down and get it.
Your daughter's across the street playing with, oh, all right. They're playing soccer in the backyard.
By the way, congratulations. I didn't know you had a baby.
Okay, now the next category here is the longest drive. This one goes to a gentleman that drove 1,600 miles to get to the tournament. Tell me that isn't dedication.
That's a long drive in itself.
Marcel Como. And Marcel, on behalf of the hockey shop and the Saginaw Hawks, we have numerous prizes. John Marie will present them to you in front of the camera. Okay?
This way.
Beautiful.
This way. There you go.
All
right.
Distance to get to the tournament, 1,600 miles, obviously a dedicated competitor. The furthest drives. John Marie Nicole won both furthest drives today on holes number 4 and 13. And for his efforts, John Marie Nicole will win 4 comfortable cushions of the Greater Saginaw Amateur Hockey Association. Now John will present these to himself in front of the camera. Okay, beautiful.
Thank you.
Just a wonderful presentation.
You say something in French?
Later.
The next award is the closest to the pin award, and again we've got a winner that's duplicated both of the holes that were designated closest to the pin. Denny DeRozier for number 6, as well as number 14. He was 19 inches away, folks, from a hole-in-one. There, you get your golf balls back. No, Dean, we can take him over in front of the camera.
No, he caught his arm and he's sore
In front of the camera.
Thank you very much.
You know,
Beautiful.
you should be playing a good golf game, Dennis. You play almost every day.
Larry Caloris measured it.
I'm impressed.
So it may have been 40 feet.
With what?
Pete, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Look at Sherry laughing. Sherry like this, yeah.
Say something in French.
It comes down it comes down to the point where we've had a non-refundable formal protest fee filed.
Oh, all right. All right, Tapper.
Unfortunately, to offset that, we had a waiver fee, a non-refundable waiver fee filed, which was double that, so I guess we'll go with that. This all goes to the organizing committee, which is comprised of John Marie and myself, so we'll be in White's Bar later tonight. And everybody's welcome to join us.
White's Bar.
At this point, it gives both...
White's Bar.
It's right around the corner.
BJ, does he know where White's Bar is?
At this point, it gives both John Marie, Nicole, and myself great pleasure to award the prestigious N&N Invitational Trophy to this year's winners who won it in a playoff. The playoff I did witness as a marshal, and it was won on... Mr. Dillon! That's another story. That's another story. We don't want to get into that. It was my pleasure to witness a 30.
Let's not quit lying.
You know it.
It was my pleasure to witness a 30-foot putt sung by the one and only J.P. Murray.
Where is he? I want to see this guy.
But unfortunately, your protest did not hold up.
Marshall going.
Where is he?
Lawrence.
As the spirit of golf will live on, and wrong side, pardon me. On a more serious note, it gives John Marie, Nicole, and I great pleasure to award this year's N&N Invitational Trophy to Denny DeRoger and John Murray in absentia. Congratulations, folks. Congratulations, folks. Congratulations. All three of us.
Well, I gotta represent John, also.
Okay.
Oh, okay, well, how do you want to do that?
Well,
Okay, well, say something then. Say something like he was.
As part of the Dennis DeRoger side of the team, I owe a lot to my partner. You bullshitter! Being John Murray, I owe a lot to myself.
You big BSer!
Congratulations, brother. Baker's hat. And Denny DeRoger will receive what he should have, and that's Murray as a partner for next year. That concludes this year's portion of the presentation. On behalf of John Marie, Nicole, and his lovely wife Stephanie, thanks for coming out. Please pay the parking attendants when you leave. Good night.
You can't give Murray a hat, it won't fit him.
You give him a legitimate finger.
That's great.
Take me.
Everything works. If he's got a 40-foot putt or a 50-foot putt, he'll run right by the edge. If he misses, just
Hi, Mommy.
But Johnny came in second.
It was empty. I had nothing there. I'm not guilty at all. I could play gold tonight.
Is that the code? You gotta advance every year?
I heard you say I could play
Out all day.
for Lar.
Get that model!
Last time somebody did that.
I'm the worst golfer and the best golfer to play. We have a sponsor of the tournament and the co-sponsor, John.
Why don't we go interview here?
And we have Jim and Nathan Gale, and we have Andy Bethune, He is the best golfer. No play. We don't let him play.
No play.
I'm the worst golfer. I go out and drive.
Okay.
No play.
On a more serious note, there we go. Guys, I don't think that anyone really has any appreciation for the amount of time you put into this tournament. I just want each of your thoughts on how much time each week you spent getting prepared for the tournament, getting sponsors, organizations. Jim, I'll start with you.
Well, our corporate sponsorship undoubtedly has been down over the past couple of years, Andy, and it is something that we're looking to improve upon. We've started with no corporate sponsors. We still don't have any corporate sponsors. The tournament continues to run, and it will continue to run. I think I'm going to throw this out on the floor to my co-sponsor, Mr. John Marie Nicole.
Well, as long as we got good friends around Saginaw area, we'll have the tournament. That's all I can say, really.
Okay, another thing that has been an important factor in this tournament is the number of international players. You know, every year it's been just more of a American tournament, but it's become more international. Can you tell me how you've got so many players from let's say abroad?
Well, it's been quite easy. What we've done over the past couple of years, if you don't have a green card, really you don't get invited, okay? And, you know, it's that simple. And, you know, we do encourage Americans to participate simply because we need the funding, but we try and limit it to those with green cards only.
So yeah, well, I have my green card, so I'm safe, I guess, in the United States, but it's always a pleasure to have anybody participate in our tournament.
Okay, the one thing mentioned today were the conditions of the golf course. Any notes from the green superintendent as far as why it was so dry on the golf course? You know, I heard we were lift cleaning and placing the ball. Any reason for that? Expound on that for me.
Well, I think, you know, you're looking at the conditions of the golf course versus conditions of the golfers. The conditions of the golf course really weren't bad. Conditions of the golfers were terrible.
John?
I'll have to vouch for that. I kind of overdid it myself last night, but I got to say at Valley View Farm.
Valley Forge?
Valley Forge? No, that's closer. No, Valley View Farm is excellent golf course, and from what we had in the last couple of months for weather, it's in great shape. It really is.
I guess the last note is probably the dissension about John Murray. The young man who comes to the tournament. Young man comes to the tournament. He got the cat by the tail. The only thing he's interested in winning, doesn't show up at the tournament award ceremony. Nowhere to be found. The brashness of this youngster. Will he be invited next year?
Well, he's on the invitation list at this point, and it's something that we're going to have to review with our invitational committee.
Who is your invitational committee?
The invitational committee is obviously comprised of potential corporate sponsors, which we don't want to get back into that again. We don't have any corporate sponsors, so we really don't have an invitational committee, but it basically boils down to John Marie and myself. I'm sure, you know, being the nice people we are, we will invite him back, but the restrictions are going to be very rigid, and if he refuses...
So he's on probation.
On probation, and if he refuses to frequent the social activities, I think that at that point we will delete him from further competition.
He might be a little shy about accepting the winner's trophy because he won it a couple of years. I think he won the first time with Bamberger, and so I don't know, but I would think that it should be mandatory.
Is sobriety a part of, do you think, the reason why he is such a competitor?
Well, I don't know in that sense, because he hang around with us at other events and stuff like that, so I don't know. But we'll look into it as far as make it mandatory that if you're going to participate in the golf tournament, you participate in the party.
Well, we can drag this on all night, and I think I'll hold you guys here for one more question. We've had what we've had is a little complaint about trying to make yourself like the Masters tournament, trying to duplicate Masters, you want the green jacket and all that. Is there any truth to the story that you are trying to duplicate the Masters format? If so, your thoughts?
No, Andy, totally unfounded. Our motto is take your pants off and jacket, okay?
And from here we'll go to the CBS News desk. Cut it.
Nicey, Guy, Steph, little shout out on the 30th anniversary of the Canadian Open from Magnolia, Texas, former home of Yimmy the Pollock and Abdul Billy Marr. Just want to say congratulations on 30 years. A lot of things have happened, some good, some bad. The armed robbery the night of the Calcutta at Larry's being the bad. A lot of booze has been drank over the years. 64% of it, Nicey, I think you drank, but that's okay. Anyway, just want to say, wish we were there. Hello to everybody. Be safe. Have fun.
1985, the Canadian Open was founded by Jim Nightingale and John Marie Nicole. The first Canadian Open was won by Norm Bamberger and John Furry Murray. Back then, the Prime Minister of Canada was Brian Mulroney. The Edmonton Oilers won the Stanley Cup. The Kansas City Royals won the World Series. Curtis Strange won that other Canadian Open thing they hold somewhere in Canada. Not important as this tournament. John Murray Nicole, one of the founders, has won 5 Opens. Jimmy Nightingale, the co-founder, he's got 0. But keep trying, Nicey. Good luck to all. Hope you have fun, as always. Wish I was there.
Hi all, Westy here. I am currently on assignment in Grand Rapids, so unfortunately I won't be able to attend this milestone 30-year anniversary of this prestigious golf tournament. So I would like to propose a toast. So whatever you're drinking, please get it ready. I am going to have a tequila. And for those that are having tequila, you might want to have a little salt, lemon, but I'm just going to go straight up. So this is a toast to the Canadian Open, to Nye, the Geek, JJ, and Scotty for hosting this tournament and doing such a fine job over the years. Toasted! I'm wondering if I should have another one. Well, maybe just a little bit, okay? We just got a little one going. Just in case we had some late guys there. So get your glasses up, everyone. Canadian Open. Bye.
Hey, Nye and Guy, congratulations on 30 years for the Canadian Open. I know it's hard to believe that many years have gone by, and all I can remember back is the interview. We've talked about it several times, we've laughed about it, and I know a lot of the people won't believe it, but it wasn't scripted. And for sure it was incoherent. I think if we would have scripted it, we would have done it before all the beer was flowing, but that's what made it beautiful. That's what makes it fun. And I think incoherent is the key word for both of you guys for the Canadian Open. So congratulations, wish I could be there, and let's hope for many more years of the Canadian Open. Take care.
Okay, everybody, sorry I couldn't make it down there this year, but before I get started, I just wanted to show you the chair where Nye sat inhaling red wine for 4 days on his visit last month to Maine. And I've heard more outstandings, and what a great days. I lost count after a while, but it was a great time had by all. It just took me about 3 weeks to recover. So anyways, guys, sorry to couldn't make it down for the 30th. I had to walk my daughter down the aisle last Sunday, and so funds were a little off, which they usually are anyway, and hopefully get down there in November for a little reunion of the old Turner Cup team. But anyways, I'm sure by now, Jean-Guy Marie is speaking his own brand of the English language. But Guy, you were my pick to win the green jacket this year, and if that's the case, that'll put you up there with all the all-time greats like Bobby Jones and Ben Hogan and Jack Nicklaus and Arnie Palmer. So hopefully you'll come through again. And I'm sure Johnny Murray's complaining about whatever he can, and whether the food was not quite to his liking, or the course wasn't playing right, or whatever. But it wouldn't be like Johnny to be not to be complaining about something. And Rosie, you're lucky I didn't make it down this year, because I don't think you would have been able to keep that bed. You're just getting a little bit too old and a little bit too soft. And but we'll see what happens next year. But anyways, I just want to thank everybody for the hospitality that I always get when I'm down there, and I'm sure I'm going to try to make it down there next year. And so my hellos to Chico and Jake and JJ, the worst partner ever, Normie, Gus, and all the boys. And hopefully we'll catch up next year, and I'm sure you guys all had a great time tonight. Take care. Talk to you soon.